This is the unique industry that allowed two 21-year-olds to make over $500,000 combined in 2022. And here are some commission checks to prove that. We got an $87,000 a month. This is from my business partner in late 2022. We have a $50,000 a month also from my business partner in June of 2022. This is a direct deposit from me, $12,003. This was way back in 2020. We have my highest month ever, which was $26,204.93. What is it? What's allowing us to make this sort of money? Remote closing. What is remote closing and what is a remote closer? We're basically salespeople. We're salespeople for companies selling high ticket digital products and services. And we work from anywhere in the world. We work completely from home, completely remote, hence the remote part of remote closing. We work for companies that generate leads who are interested in whatever the product or service is. These interested leads come to us, the remote closers, and we either set them if we're an appointment setter, or we close them or sell them as the closer, and we get a percentage of the sale, which is called commission. There's thousands of different types of products in this industry. Real estate investing masterminds, Facebook ads for a local pool building company, coaching program. There's coaching programs for everything now. Fitness, make money online, things like stock market trading, e-commerce, social media marketing agencies. I've sold quite a few of these myself. Now, to give you an example, let's say you're selling for a company that sells a $5,000 real estate investing mastermind. $5,000 is like the average price point in this industry. If you close the prospect, collect their money, you make 10% of the sale. And if you're an appointment setter, meaning you basically give the closer a layup, you make about 5% of the sale. At 10% of 5,000, that's $500 a sale. And at 5% of 5,000, that's $250 a sale. Now, a good closing rate as a closer is about 30%, meaning 30% of the prospects that you talk to overall are going to buy. And if you take 3 calls a day, 5 days a week at a 30% closing rate, that's $2,500 per week. Now, if you set 3 calls a day and the closer that you're setting for closes at 30% and you do this 5 days a week, as a setter, you'll make $1,250 per week, which is $5,000 a month. I've seen people make way more than that. Like my highest product that I've ever sold was $30,000 and I made 10% commission, which was $3,000 per sale. Now, who is this for? This is for you if you're tired of a 9-to-5 and want to create a financial future that's better for you as well as your family. This is also for you if you're in sales but you're not making $7,000 to $20,000 per month, or able to work from anywhere in the world, or you're tired of cold calling and wasting time talking to completely uninterested prospects. This is also for you if you want to learn a skill that's going to be in demand and pay you for the rest of your life. And lastly, this is for you if you're a hardworking and consistent person, but you haven't found an avenue to be able to achieve financial freedom for yourself yet. But why should you get into remote closing? One, there's a massive need right now for good salespeople. I know companies willing to pay $10,000 per good salesperson just so they can have a good salesperson on our staff. And there's thousands of these companies right now. Number 2, you get a pretty flexible schedule. I've been able to go on trips, vacations, hang out with friends, have friends come into town, hang out with family a lot while maintaining this career. 3, there's high earning potential. My best month was $26,000 as a remote closer. My business partner Trey's best month was $87,000 as a closer. 4, you can learn an evergreen skill set. An evergreen skill set is something that will be able to make you money forever because it's not going anywhere. And sales has been around for hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands and thousands of years. 5th, it's recession-proof. Jobs like HR, being a personal assistant, those are jobs that aren't recession-proof because you're very replaceable. Whereas when you're in sales and you're the lifeblood of a company and you're making the company money, you're always going to be in demand because why would a company lay people off or fire you if you're making them money? 6, you'll basically get a business MBA level of education working for these companies. I've personally closed for huge companies and huge influencers in this space, and seeing how the internal team works has been life-changing for me. 7, it's very low risk. Once you get good, there's always an offer that's going to want you. Your worst case scenario will eventually be making 6 figures a year once you are good. Not at the start. I'm not here to give you false expectations, but I've been in this industry for 4.5 years. My worst case scenario now is making $150,000 to $200,000 per year with a company. And why does remote closing make sense? It makes sense because the lowest risk way to get to financial freedom is to learn a high income skill, right? Rather than learning dropshipping or trading or something like that. Like, sure, those are useful and can make you money, but they're not skills that have been around since the dawn of time. Sales has been. Plus, when you learn high income skills and you stack them, you become so valuable. You're also eliminating your risk of not making money as you get better and better, because again, once you're good, you are going to be so in demand, not just in the remote space, but in any sales space. Good salespeople like us are always in demand though. Businesses love us and they need us. Now, think about it this way. If you took $10,000 that you had saved up and you started dropshipping and you built a dropshipping store and made some profit, but you had a lot of unsatisfied customers because the cheap and low quality products and refunds because of that, that would stink. So instead, what you should do is invest that money into evergreen, high income skills with very, very low complexity compared to dropshipping. My business partner, Trey, the one that had the $87,000 a month, he took $2,000 of his last dollars and he paid me, my name's Caden, he paid me that $2,000 so I could show him how to get into remote closing back in July of 2021. I had already almost 3 years of experience in the field. He had none. So he paid me that money and I showed him the ropes. And he essentially went from earning 12 hours a day working manual labor to now making $350,000 profit in 2022 alone. And he was selling somebody else's services for them as a remote closer. Now, if he would have taken that $2,000 and built a dropshipping store with it, A, it probably would have failed. And B, he probably would have had a bunch of logistical issues like unsatisfied customers, refunds, having to deal with shipping, inventory, and all that stuff. But instead, he invested this so he could skyrocket his return and not have to deal with all of that stuff. Now, don't just take it from me though. Take it from Kyle, who made $10,000 last month just from working part-time in remote closing. You could see here, hey guys, just wanted to share something I'm proud of from May. I've improved my closing percentage each month, and in the last day of the month, I solidified getting bumped up a tier to get 15% commission for the whole month's worth. So that made me extra $2K for the month and got me my first $10K a month in remote closing, which is not bad for a side job. I was pumped because I've been working hard at that. Now, Kyle, he had a super full plate just between working a part-time job or a full-time job in the corporate world and on top of being a father and a husband, but he carved out a few hours every single evening to put into this on top of his job, and it completely changed his family's financial situation. Kyle has a message that he sent us here saying, for context, my wife was originally pretty opposed to me getting into remote closing and paying for it since money was tight, and she was nervous about me paying and trusting some young guys from the internet. Can't blame her. But she trusted my judgment and work ethic in order to make it work. Fast forward to this morning, she brought up unprompted what a blessing remote closing has been to our family's lives and our finances. And she said, quote unquote, I'm so glad you got connected to Caden and those guys. Big W and so grateful for you guys. Now you can also take it from Gage, who made $24,000 in 22 days just last month in June. He posted this tweet shouting us out saying, just finished up a short-term offer provided internally from RCM, which is us, 24K in 22 days, 41 PIFs, which means pay in full, meaning he closed 41 people on the service overall and helped a ton of people too. Fantastic program. Heart feels good. 7 months into training and still by far the best investment that I've ever made. 7 months in, made $24,000 in a month. Now, before remote closing, Gage spent the last 10 years working a large variety of jobs, from in-person sales to working in a warehouse to customer service, and now he's making more money than he ever has, and he's also able to work from home, stay with his wife and his family, and travel when he wants to as well. So here's what happens when you work with us. Step 1, you're going to get a personalized onboarding session with me and my business partner, Trey. The purpose is to map out a specific game plan for you so we can help you reach your exact income goals and beyond. Step 2, you're going to pass phases 1 and 2 in the program. Now, phases 1 and 2 were put together by myself and Trey so we can help you get very good at sales, interviewing, and applying to sales job, because those are the most 3 essential skills that we found to getting up and off the ground with this. Now, these 3 skills and us teaching them have resulted in our top students making $20,000 plus per month, all from remote closing. We have tons of people making between $10,000 and $20,000 a month too. We want to make your chances of landing a remote closing or appointment setting job as high as we possibly can, which is why we have this in place. In step 3, we're going to get started. Basically, once these phases are complete, which could easily be done in a week or a few weeks, it's time to land a remote closing or appointment setting position so that we can start getting you to those $7,000 to $20,000 months. Our focus here is going to be to work with you hands-on, directly, one-on-one, until you get to this point and help you land an offer as fast as possible. Once you are in an offer as a remote closer or a remote appointment setter, we're going to assist you every single day to make sure that you're performing at your best and making as much money as possible. Now, you might be wondering, is this like actually legit? There's a lot of crap out there on the internet, so I can't blame you if you're thinking this. I can understand how people who have never been involved in this industry, how they're questioning the legitimacy of the industry and how incredible this opportunity is. Now, I'm here to say this is 100% legit, and here's why. You've heard of car sales, solar sales, insurance sales, tech sales, and other forms of sales. And with each of these, you're selling in-demand products and services that have been around for decades, right? This is no different than that. We're selling very in-demand products, equally as in demand as cars, solar, insurance, all of that. And we're selling these to people who need and want them. And the only difference between this and car, solar, insurance, tech sales, and more is that this is done 100% remote on a 1099 basis, meaning you're an independent contractor, and it doesn't require your physical presence, meaning you can do it from anywhere. Now, me, Caden, I've been doing this since 2019 when I was 17 years old. I've been in this industry for almost 5 years now, and I've made $100,000 to $200,000 plus per year since then. And I'm on pace for high 200s, low 300s this year alone. Now, why would you pay to get a job? Similar to college, you're paying for knowledge. You're also paying for connections, and more importantly, you're paying for speed. To land high-level closing and appointment setting positions in this space, you're never going to land the good ones in Facebook groups or Upwork or other platforms like that. You're going to land them by knowing people who are very, very well connected in the space and have a great reputation, and you're going to get your good positions from them. And just like any field, this field is very difficult to break into alone. I would know. It took me almost a year to do that. And we've spent the last 24 months building amazing relationships with business owners who need closers and appointment setters, and good ones at that. And nearly every single one of these people hire them directly from people like us. And even if you're in sales already, it's a very unique sales process that you're going to follow to sell well in this industry. Even if you have that sales experience, this isn't like selling solar or cars or insurance or anything like that, or pest control. It's a much different and quicker style of selling, which is great for your income as well as your time. But you need to learn this framework in depth and learn not to screw it up in order to have success with it. Now, a couple questions that I get about remote closing and appointment setting. Do I have to find my own leads? Not at all. You don't have to cold call or self-generate any leads. They are inbound in some way, shape, or form. The business owner will generate these leads to you through organic content like we were talking about earlier, which could be Instagram, TikTok, their YouTube, or even through paid advertising like Facebook ads. And your responsibility is to set them as a setter or close them as a closer, depending on your role. Next, do I need sales experience? Short answer, no. However, having other forms of experience in sales will help you, but it's not necessary. I didn't start this myself with sales experience before entering the field, and neither did my partner Trey. And this has also been the case for many of our students too. The reason we were able to succeed in this field alone is because we had work ethics like none other, and we were willing to do whatever was needed. And even then, at least for me, it took a long time to succeed in the field. But we've had plenty of people with zero sales experience come in and start earning $10,000 plus per month, like Quentin, Jeff, Julian, Danny, Matt, Angelo, Chris, and plenty others. Here's how our program works. First, there's 5 weekly group coaching sessions. We're going to be doing lessons and teaching you things. We're going to be doing call reviews of people who are on offers, selling and setting and closing already. We're going to be doing mock calls and more to make you better and better each day. Second, you're going to do one-on-one calls with us as well as our coaches for the 24-week duration of the program. 3, you're going to get interviews with high-ticket companies that need salespeople. 4, you're going to get our exact $10 million sales process. And 5, you're going to get an awesome private community and network. And I promise you, there is no other sales program doing it like we are right now. Our results have been bonkers for the little amount of students that we have. So next steps, if you like the way this sounds and you want to get into remote closing or appointment setting, and you also want to potentially learn it from us, the first step is to fill out the application form below. The second step is to schedule a call so we can see that if it's a good fit. I will warn you, we do reject about 72% of qualified applicants. We're very strict about who we let in. This isn't some marketing scheme or anything like that. I would rather not have somebody in if I get any indication that they wouldn't be an asset to us and our community. In the third step, we're going to explain the entire process and answer any questions that you have on that call once you book it in. So note them down if you have any and bring them to it. A couple more testimonials before I end the video. Julian, who I've talked about a couple times in this presentation, in April was at $10,000 in the month, just halfway through. He ended that month at around $15,000. Just last month in June, he made $13,000 in commission. He's 19 years old and going to a top 20 business school in the entire country. Quentin joined us in December, so about 6 months ago, and he made $17.2 thousand in commission, and he's 18 years old. You can see here, he put a picture. 6 months ago, I was working at a pizza parlor, working 60 hours per week at $16 an hour. 6 months later, his best friends Dylan and Aiden and him all got a beautiful house together. And then, just in one day, he set $62,000 as an appointment setter, and he made $4,960. His commissions percentage, we talked about earlier that the typical setting commission is 5%. His is higher, which allows him to earn quite a bit. In fact, he makes more than a lot of closers do at $17.2 thousand per month. Another example was Alec. At 24 years old, made $14.7 thousand last month in commission, and it was in his first month on the offer that we placed him in. He spent over a year trying to get into remote sales on his own before joining our Inner Circle program. And after he joined, we placed him on an offer that helped him do this. So if you're interested, fill out the application form below, schedule a call to see if it's a good fit. We're going to walk you through everything that you need to know about the process A to Z and answer any questions that you have as well. Hope you enjoyed the video and see you on the call.